beyond art.
Okay, so video how to learn from masters. So in a previous video I was already talking about how to better improve in general, and I mentioned this division into production and learning, like a different, it's like two different kind of process, right? And here let's analyze what is a production process looks like. So for example, let's say we'll take this Ghost in the Shell from Masamune Shirow. Here we have spread, and let's say I am this beginner artist who was very much influenced and impressed by comic books, and especially like Masamune Shirow, and then I want to become comic book artist myself, right? So like I say, in order to do it more efficient, I will need to have like clear practical goal, and clear practical goal for me will be clear definition of a form I want, like kind of product I want to make, right? So, and here let's say like comic book, for me this product will be like a series of comic book pages or comic book spreads. So it's like most, if we're talking about this like print format of comic book, not webtoon, so there's like general element, it's a comic book spread. So this like 2 pages kind of, right? So then I need to analyze it. I need to learn what is this form, this product consist from. So here let's again using just a comic book kind of example, right? So you can say production of this product, you know, is like very well known. It consists from penciling, like inking, coloring, right? So I will need to make a pencil drawing, then I need to ink it, and then I will do color over ink. But then to be more specific, I better if I will like deconstruct it even more finer to like more precise elements like which I can work with. So in penciling, what we're actually working with? We're working with maybe it's just right here in the list. So here we have like composition, and like perspective, which I will call like just kind of like how you draw 3D space. 3D space. S or C? Space. God. Space. No, C. Perspective. So then what we have like how to draw like figures in 3D. So this like 2 question about how to put figure properly, character properly in the space. So you can also like draw it from different angles, and stuff like this. So let's say maybe character. In 3D. So somehow, like maybe simple 3D kind of puppet, it should be in my mind, or like if you're advanced level, you can make like a very complex 3D imagery of a human. So what else we have? Can say like if we talk in this like process of creating pencil, composition is like general. Yeah, maybe this like subdivision of composition. Yeah, you see, even this we can deduct. So like break into elements. So composition, it will be like 2D abstract. And it's kind of like cinematic, let's say. So it's like what kind of camera angle, what kind of camera size. Okay, yeah, let's write here like frame size, camera angle, and maybe even like a shot type. So like shot type is about it's like you showing some detail, or you showing like one character, or you showing group of characters. So it's like what kind of frame, like narrative or content wise, right? So perspective, 3D space, okay. Character. Then let's say after like you figuring out all these elements, you can think about maybe add some details, or some kind of nuances, maybe some specific props or characteristics. Those props, some nuances. So all this kind of stands behind penciling. So in inking, what can say inking here? So yeah, it's kind of one element of it is like what kind of tool. So what kind of tool you use for inking. Then let's say yeah, let's call it just category like line art, because it's like we can talk about like quality of lines. Yeah, okay, and also like shapes. Yeah, so it's like when we're talking about like a black shapes and black spots. So some inking, depending on the art style, on the artist preference, it might be like many dark spots or almost no them. Like we talk Mobius, there are like very few black spots. Talking about Frank Miller, okay, there's like a lot. There's a lot of black. Also, it's related to mood and genre. So maybe if it's like noir or horror, then will be a lot of black, obviously. Or if it's like night scene, then it's mostly black, and the day scene is like mostly line art with a little black. So it's a lot of way how you can apply this. So we can also say a book Framed Ink is kind of talking very much about this, like composition, like 2D and cinematic, and also talking about shapes, like this how the blacks work. So then also if we want to make color in a comic book, yeah, there can also talk about coloring. So there is like, again, it's also tools. Tools is like here is very important, because even like theory of coloring here will be depends very much from tools. It's like digital or traditional. It's like acrylic ink, or it's watercolor, or it's gouache, or it's mixed media. It's really can be like very different and like practically. So when we even we have this kind of illusion, which is spent a lot year for me to realize, is like we're looking for some general theory for making like color harmonies and stuff. But then I realized like it's more important to kind of adapt, adjust color theory to particular tool. So this is more important to be specific here, because it's not how you understand general theory of color harmonies. It's about how you like your knowledge, how to apply it in a certain media. And so then I've been like analyze different artists, and I find it's just like how best to apply color theory in a watercolor, for example, for comic books. And it's like super different with oil painting, for example. So coloring, we have tools. So there are like color theory. So you can like learn a lot of different kind of nuances in general. It's like how color can create mood, and yeah, stuff like that. Just to explore, look around. So yeah, and also to this, of course, additional what's preceding penciling, it's a story. So there is like I don't know, it's like plot and just like scenario kind of ready for it. So anyway, so what a point of this, when you deconstruct, now you have like exact subjects you can work with. Also, let's say like when we're talking about production, imagine this can be divided between different people. So it's like you have art studio, and you give different people all the subjects. So one guy, he making story, other, or you have like office, like who is a bunch of guy who like doing different elements of this, and then you have like other office where guys sitting making like line art, and you have like coloring office where a group of people sit and making coloring. So I mean, technically it's possible. It's of course it will be, we will have like totally different kind of work when it's like one guy doing all steps, or we have like super this kind of separated work task for every step. But what is important here, it's like when you look at it, now you can say, you can study each of these subjects, and you can look for each of these elements into work of other artists. Because like I say, when you look to your final result, you need to find like examples of perfect or let's say, yeah, like perfect example for you, which you want to make like similar kind of product, similar result. So if I look like Masamune Shiro kind of, right, I will start to analyze it, like what is pencil work here. So how he make perspective, how he make shape design, like this 2D abstract language here, what kind of his camera decisions, like how he makes sometimes this like big shots or close-ups, yeah. So then, like what color tools he used and stuff like this, right? So you analyze it, and then you can start to do it looking from actual work. So let's say it's like if you been in his assistant who have a job to do one of this task. So Masamune Shiro, for example, he already did story and he already, let's say, he make composition of frames. He say, okay, we have this camera angle here, we have like this composition of figures on all these pages, right? He made like character designs and stuff, right? But then he's tell you like, okay, now your job is to make line art for this. So imagine it's like you do it yourself. You say like, oh, I want to practice more line art, so I will take all his elements, like I'm already working on professional studio here, and I will add my line art to it to see how my line art will look within professional work. So you from beginning you start adjust your line art skills to professional level, so you can see how it's tuned in, so you skip these steps from working on composition. You're going directly to line art, but you can see it immediately how it looks within professional work. So let's say, to be more clear, I will show you what you can practically do as an exercise. So let's say here I have some scans of these pages. So here I have this 3 page from Masamune Shiro. So instead of thinking about how to make let's say I don't have story, I'm very beginner, I'm very beginner, I'm very not confident, I don't know what to draw, but I really want to draw some comics. So okay, let's take this narrative from Masamune Shiro. And like I say, it's just practice. You don't do it to show anyone. You're just doing it as a learning process. You're learning how to create final work. Because like I say, this help you to find this practical approach, so you will not be lost into endless learning without seeing end result, because you can learn everything forever, you will never perfect. And to avoid this, let's say I'll draw like spread. Oh no, let's do this one first and then will be spread. So I'm kind of like saying thank you, Master Shiro, for your idea here, and I kind of want to experience it. I want to look how it feels to create, produce kind of real comic book with, because yeah, right now I have like almost zero practice of making my own composition. So it's like I am not practicing now put story into composition. This already been done by Masamune Shiro, but right now I actually practice just kind of craft of it. I practice just physical pencil work with this kind of story when it's like I already already figure out composition and plot, right? So here we have like this 4 frames, we have overlap of main character here, and now I will look, I start from more general without, don't jump into details, it's just like frames, right? Like general structure. So then I look what kind of structure here for this landscape. So like I talk in the main video, we're looking for a vertical axis. So and here is like 3-point perspective. Where is horizon line? Horizon line about here. So this is some kind of this, instead of trying to invent bicycle, right, you study bicycle, and so you can make your new version, like different model kind of, right? Or you can like you can improve, make some more advanced. Better bicycles than been done before, but you start from learning these bicycles. So we have perspective grid, then we can take this composition, so we have here like on the left corner this on the first plane, we have balcony, then we have this like main character building, so here is where main character living in apartment there. And there's some kind of, let's say, road here and some city skyline. Then next frame, it's interior. So here is like her husband sit on a sofa. Again, we can look what kind of perspective grid. Kind of like a little curved. here we'll do horizon line here. So we have vertical, we have Z, and we have X axis here. So like perspective grid plus composition. So composition, we have her husband kind of sit here reading newspaper, right? So he sits on some kind of sofa here, and here is a T table with a T. And then we have close up to him. And then we have this kind of perspective grid. Axis. So here again, sofa. It's like kissing couple. So again, I'm making it just like a doll frames without details, just like placing dolls into 3D space. Can also put bubbles and composition. So look into this kind of production elements, what I took from Masamune Shirow. I took story, I took composition, perspective characters, kind of this part, right? Kind of borrow. So, or delegate it to him, so he did it for me. But then, actually, like I say, as exercise, I will change everything. I will alter every element to make it like if it's my own comic book. So it's kind of like plagiarism, but it's exercise. It's not for sale, it's not for claiming it's my work. It's not my work, it's just learning process. Like I say this, it's a model master and apprentice. And apprentice. S or C, always forget. Okay, let's do C. So like classical and most efficient kind of education form is like you go into master studio and he start giving you some craft task, so you can do it for him, right? So just to make sure you're not blindly copying, which will be much less beneficial for you, to make sure you're not blindly copying, you need to change every detail. So now instead of drawing same building here, I will draw some kind of different scene. So here I change this balcony, so it will be same perspective, same frame composition. Так, so just different, like parallel universe kind of version. So here will be like dude with a binocular on a balcony. Sit on a chair. So here we'll make like entrance to here. Road go like this. Here's like a garage for each house. Okay, let's do a balcony too. kind of some city skyline here. Так. So change dude. And he will be like watching iPad. And drinking tea. Так. Also change interior here. Так. Also, if you're curious, like most likely, like almost guarantee, her pose here, like how she working with the sleeves here, like I forgot the name of this thing. Most likely, almost guarantee, it's he takes this from a reference book. They're very popular in Japan. Let's see. Like here I have one, for example, this like with swords and stuff. I've been using some drawings from here too. So it's like, I think they print them specifically for manga artists. But now you can Google and find in Pinterest a lot of stuff. So I kind of borrowing some poses, some compositions. Like when I'm not create a composition by myself, I still do some practice by drawing it, and which is good for a brain. It's like you have like result which you desire, kind of, right? Because you want to have good quality final work, and you want to see how you experience, kind of how you can achieve it. So this exercise, it's your first steps just into getting this confidence of drawing with pencil, and also like you have better idea of how you can really do this final work. And I have like a friend a long time ago, we've been drawing comic books for a publisher, and I was like notice like in his comic books, which was like not for publishing, it was before Instagram. It was this old time when internet was too slow to like even to upload your pictures in internet. It took a lot of time, and it's very expensive. So dude, he just drew for himself, and he have like couple comics like with 100 pages. This was like some kind of like an alien universe with a planet explosion, like destroying planets there. There was also mecha, some like crazy, like super busy, like super cool. And I noticed in his comic books so many frames, so many compositions being like shamelessly stolen from like comic books we have on in the shops. I buy some Spider-Man comic book, and they have like this frame, like when it's like Peter Parker kind of fighting with the Flash, something like this, like very obvious. And he just took this composition and he drew his characters in the same like a same scene, but with his characters. And I was kind of angry. I was like, oh, what's this dude doing? He's like stealing, isn't it? He's pretending it's his work. But then after long time, I realized how smart it was, because this dude, he draws so many comic books, and he been just having fun, and if he sees some good idea, good solution, he just implement it immediately in his work. And it's not like you want to be like 100 and unique and original from, and like doing like professional work at the beginning. No, you at least you need to create, you need to produce something, so you will be better at it, right? Hello, Konstantinos. Yeah, it's from Ghost in a Shell. I just have some digital version, for example. So, and let's say maybe I want to change her to, let's say it will be same pose, same clothes, but let's try to make her some different face. Let me see. Okay, find some cool reference. So she will have like tail. No, I think perspective is not so hard as anatomy. It's like, I don't know. It's also maybe depends kind of individual. It might be individual. For somebody, anatomy is easier. For somebody, perspective is easier. What is for sure, you need to find how to do it with a fun. So you need to kind of enjoy this process. It might be, no, I mean, it's hard for sure, but you can find like kind of some kind of, it should be like a game, like you are playing cards or some kind of, challenge, fun challenge in this kind of game. So because you have rules, you have some kind of conditions, and you need to kind of play by the rules, create some result with it. So it should be fun. Just need to get this feeling. Maybe if you do it gradually without pushing yourself too far, like without jumping too far. Start with a more simple task. You need to feel this like it's like serotonin, maybe, like because you complete task, you succeed, you have a good result, you need to feel this reward. So this reward also will motivate you, because from experience you can do it. So it makes sense to keep doing it, to keep trying. If you feel like all the time it's a failure, it's just require more discipline to keep going, Yes, it's a normal thing when you start to be sleepy because you work with something difficult. It's absolutely normal. Everybody has this. It's even I hear it's like in ancient Greece, they call it meditation. Meditation is not like in this fashion now, talking about sit and off your brain, right? No, in ancient Greece they call meditation when you have some idea or like question and you want to find answer for this question. So you meditate on this question, or let's say on a problem. You have problem and you meditating on it, and so you kind of like looking for answer, looking for solution, to the point when you just kind of your brain is just shut off, so you just fall asleep, So this calls me meditate in the ancient Greece. So it's a signal, it's kind of evidence that you are actually using your brain, like you are actually thinking about something. Because it's really tiring. It really takes a lot of resources. So it's like make you sleepy. I forget Eric Olsen. I will Google. Maybe I watched him before. I'm not sure. But yeah, like Marshall Androv, this course is absolutely essential. It's kind of like it's very brief, but very informative. So you can watch this Androv workshop a couple times. Yeah, I was also, when I was thinking before, like, oh, why once I start to like study something serious, I immediately want to sleep. I think like maybe I'm so stupid and like my brain is so soft and not ready for serious thinking. But then recently I hear this theory about, I hear this like about Greece, like how they call meditation is to think about something hard, like choose some hard problem, hard subject, and you think about it until you just want to sleep. This kind of meditation. So it's just evident, it's a signal that you are really think about something hard. You're really using your brain to maximum capacity. You're not kind of pretending you're thinking. No, don't. You cannot do anything to. Just world is not perfect. If you're tired from work, you don't need some medicine to feel not tired. You better like you can take a walk. You can like you can really sleep for 5 minutes, wake up, and again continue it. You better find like how to manage it. Without using any kind of medicine or going to go to psychologist, say like, oh doctor, life is not perfect. I'm so sad. Like I wish like I've been like tireless and just I wish everything be perfect, and doctor will say like, oh, you need to buy some Adderall, you need more drugs, my friend, particularly take these drugs, I have a contract, so or just come more times, you need more talk with me, it will definitely help you. And that's kind of nonsense. No, just take it as a cruel reality. Yeah, if you work hard and like brain use so much resources. That's why not so many people like to use their brain, because it's some kind of like a running, People just prefer to avoid this. Because it's very tiring, exhausting. I kind of this week I stopped to drink coffee, so already about 1 week I don't drink coffee, and definitely feel better. I mean, I still drink tea, but tea seems not so strong. Don't before like before, I mean, like week ago, when I drink coffee all the time, and like I can like drink like 3 cup of coffee sometimes, which is crazy. And I cook like very strong coffee. Just can't resist making super strong coffee. So yeah, in the morning I can like doing these streams, but I feel like even like little more excited than I need. So it's not like effective. It just make me a little more like excited than it's actually useful. So, and then every day about like 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. I have like poof, like somebody pushed the switch and I lost all my energy. Even like have like heartbeat like do 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 do. It's like I need to go to sofa, like go to sofa and like crazy. It just feel so weak. Like can sleep like 30 minutes and something like this, like very weird. But now this week, zero. I don't have anything like that. So because I not drink coffee in the morning, so I kind of like for myself I'm making conclusion from my own experiment that coffee kind of like they talk about every drug, it give you something but it's take more from you. So like they say about coffee give you like some boost for a short time, but this boost he taken energy from your storage, so later you will feel like you don't have energy because you spent all this energy before. And I think like kind of like I don't need it so much, and I also like somehow like I have this character, I like to resist mainstream, and when I see how much coffee everywhere, I this kind of will start to be suspicious. They will like make everybody drink coffee, and after 10 years we will find out coffee was like a cocaine something, like super addictive and not healthy. Like it was before with the cigarettes, when they say like, oh, it's very healthy, you can smoke everywhere, and then it's can cause you lung cancer. Surprise, surprise. So I kind of like start to be suspicious about coffee. It just feel like unnecessary boost. And before like 10 years ago, I can drink like 1 cup of coffee in a week or almost in a month, And I was like, I drink this like a little coffee and so high. Now I drink this 3 cup of coffee, almost don't feel anything. Just start to be like more exciting, like anxious, but I don't feel like I wake up or something like this. So it's really you need to, it really looks like a drug. Yeah, same with sugar. Yeah, I watch this like videos. I forget this doctor on YouTube. He talking about keto stuff. So I start to make like sour cabbage myself. And yeah, this week I almost don't eat sugar. Like I don't remember what. Yeah, I was eating like 1 cookie maybe in a Monday. It's kind of okay. Really like seems like a waste, like a cigarettes. It don't really need this stuff. So it should be not much trouble to quit these things. It's like alcohol for artists. So like when I was before a long time ago kind of experimenting with alcohol, like after I read Bukowski, I was inspired. So like, wow, maybe alcohol really helped to be creative. No, and I just figure out it don't works at all. It's just not effective. It can work once and then it's never work again, never helps. It just kind of distract. Yeah. So I mean, kind of like bottom line here, my point is like in your creative process, you should by definition exclude any boost. Because if you consider like boost as a part of your work, part of your process, then it's kind of like fails. It's kind of very wrong approach. So it doesn't mean like you should not completely don't drink coffee or whatever. Do whatever you want, but never think like for work you need to drink coffee. I think this kind of fails like wrong path. Also, like you can read Stephen King also have book about how to write, where he talking about his addictions, like how he was writing, drink all the time, and then he figure out that he drinking too much, and he just quit. And he's when he quit alcohol, he realized he never needed. It just was kind of delusion, It's like instead of doing your work yourself, you just create a false idea that you need some boost. And this idea is not helping you. It just make you spend more money and take your focus from real useful kind of approach. It's more like distraction than something helpful. You can force or you cannot force. Just figure out what you prefer to do. Like just like I say, how you will manage it. I mean, like learn to organize yourself. How you will organize yourself is your individual thing. You can force yourself to stay awake. Maybe it will works for you, I don't know. Or you can just go and sleep for 5 minutes, It's like it's also maybe work. Like in China, as they have this culture of sleeping like 30 minutes in after lunch. Like and people say it's kind of like a very healthy thing to do. Like make this like short break. So maybe like just literally like shut down for 5 minutes. It's kind of will work for you. Or like I say, just go take a walk. You can have like many tasks, right? So like one is you sit and use your brain to study perspective. Other, like you need to clean your room. Okay, like when you feel like you start to fall asleep from perspective, go and clean your room. Then you come back and you again can use your brain. So you change kind of brain activity to physical activity instead of totally stop doing anything. You just change brain to body and body to brain, you know. It's kind of like one of very popular kind of approach. It's kind of like a move of blood in your body little, you know. So like same kind of like maybe like a coffee will do, like will just start pumping you. Same you can like move yourself a little bit without drinking anything, just doing some physical job. Let's do like 20 push-ups. Like you don't need to use much brain for it, right? So just you can make some like really useful breaks. So like I say, it's a subject of management, kind of like how you organize your day. So and you can be like very bad with managing your time. And if you will, like instead of learning how to be more effective organizing yourself, if you instead of this you will start to boost yourself all the time with some kind of stuff, like it will not help you to in anything. It's only will create like new distraction, you know. It's like this, like milk and cookie, right? You have like 3 cookie, you have a cup of milk, then you finish milk but you still have cookie, so you put more milk. Then you finish cookie, you still have milk, and you say like, oh, I need to take more cookie, and you keep doing it in like a never-ending cycle. Same with this kind of boost idea of boosting yourself. Like you instead of organize yourself, you start to kind of like you get into negative loop when you just more focus on like what kind of coffee you need to drink today, or you need to, I don't know, use some another kind of thing to make you motivated and feel it. And again, it's like it's not really give you energy, it's just make you feel like you're like more fit, you know. It's kind of this my points on it. Same, I was like right now I don't do it, but I need to go back to this. Like when I was not so far ago running in the mornings, just like 15-minute run, it's pretty good. And like I run 15 minutes, I go back home and I feel so excited, you know. I feel like all my body wake up, like very sharp, very fresh. And I realize it's like I actually feel much more awake than if I drink coffee. It's like trolley and donkey. Like when you drink coffee, it's like you put donkey before trolley. So it's like this coffee need to push your lazy body. But when you move your body yourself, you find it's kind of like no reason for coffee anymore. It's just so excited and sharp. So here just doodling. Some stuff. So like for me, like yeah, when I was study perspective, I fell asleep all the time. For me, like when I read book on English language, I still kind of fall asleep all the time. It's kind of I'm still not fluent so much with English, so I need to look vocabulary sometimes. I need to like read again a couple times to make sure I properly understand. So and like if I will choose to drink coffee to make myself like more sharp. After 1 week, when I will have this kind of situation, like I read book and I feel asleep. Okay, I want to drink coffee. I make a coffee, and instead of wake me up, I will just shaken, and like I will kind of shaken, and my kind of mind will jumping around. I'm not able to focus much because like now it's like you boost your ADHD. So like, I need to go to check some website. I need to go to look Instagram. I need to check messages, and like you start to just jumping around, like and very nervous. So practical effects like very low. Same as like you can watch before what was like advertisement for cigarettes, like how. It was telling people like how much it benefits and how useful it is, and people believe in it. Seems something like this with the coffee. So I will like, it seems only a reason to drink coffee. It just say like, I like it taste, and I'm kind of like people drink on the parties and stuff like that. can listen heavy metal. Like you study perspective, you feel like you want to go, you start to fall asleep. Okay, listen Damage Incorporated from Metallica. And draw some boxes. So many ideas what you can do. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's not so bad for as cigarettes, but yeah, I don't like it. So many kind of sketchy information around coffee. Something not very right with it. Well, even if it's not a danger at all, I mean, just anyway, it doesn't help much. Really, like when you really want to have some boost from it, it will fail you in 60% of cases at least. And it's kind of unreliable. And then it can cause you like problem with this kind of ADHD, like sleeping problems. Like for me, for sure, like if I drink coffee, after I will have problem to sleep in the night. So it's kind of not worth it. Some kind of vague benefit and very clear problems, which is like really annoying. I will better have a good sleep than have some this kind of 5-minute boost. Or you can, yeah, I will wake you up right now.
Madness. This is
Jane Bond art.
Like, perspective make me sleep. Whoa. Yeah, I can also use imagination to help yourself, to stimulate yourself with imagination. Really helps. Like, imagine is like, I don't know, is some kind of like scenario, like you need to learn perspective before tomorrow, because tomorrow, like, alien invasion, and if humanity will not have like some super, you need to impress aliens with super perspective skills, you know, like future of humanity depends on you. And what excuse you have, it's like your excuse, I feel sleepy. Really? Will you fail humanity for such ridiculous excuse? You think it's only about like taking this laser rifle and like shooting with aliens? It's also about using your brain. Use your brains, or aliens will use them for you. Hello, show. Yeah, like I say, like imagination, really cool stuff, really fantastic tool. So, like, when I get some experience of making pictures, I start to project this experience into real life. So when I clean house, I imagine like I am creating a painting. It's like, you know, like visually, my environment became better. Like I'm not doing some boring work. It's actually creative work. I make like better picture, you know. Same when I wash dishes, you know, there's like this ugly picture with like, which is you know, like kind of prop design in your game, right? It looks like kind of no, you know, like a low life environment. And by making some clean in my house, I change this prop design and environment design for better quality environment. So I really like when I start to think this way, it helped me a lot. So it's not feel anymore like mundane stuff. It's it's like I'm creating in 3D. And same can do opposite. So like I say, imagine some kind of like alien scenario, or when I was work on my yard digging earth, I imagine like I dig in trenches for my how's it called, for my kind of team, let's say, right? So it's kind of like I imagine it's like World War II, and tomorrow we have like German tanks moving, like a lot of tanks. So we need trenches, and I'm tired or not is no excuse. It's like, what kind of excuse can be like life of you and your guys, kind of, and your country at stake, your people, right? So same like when I was drawing, like I like to draw standing outdoors, right? Like urban sketching, and sometimes I have like back pain, and it's like hell. Sometimes it's really like crazy. No, you know, like if you're standing for hours, it's just like it's like a burning pain, and I just okay. So what? Let's say I'm kind of on a position. Maybe, you know, like again, like you're a soldier, it's your task. You need to be in this position. It's kind of just will be ridiculous to say like I feel uncomfortable. Right? I want to eat some cookies. So, and it's kind of like I'm start to kind of like make it test myself, like am I so soft and weak and I will give up, or I can endure it, so I can be like, or at least not be ashamed of myself. And it helps, really helps. So, and don't use any coffee, anything, and just kind of use imagination. It's kind of also called in the sociology, it's called framing. You change kind of context of a situation. So in one context, discomfort, it's so bad, it's so annoying. But if you change it to another context, then this discomfort losing its value, it's became kind of something absolutely not it's not a problem anymore, kind of. You have much bigger problems than this. Так, so you have door. Forget her eyes. Let's see. It's kind of danger drawing eyes. So you see, I change in props. I kind of draw in my stuff. It just helped me to make this practice more essential, more, because this way I'm not blindly copy. So here I change this dude for myself. Sure. When you will become famous artists, invite me for kind of exhibition or your like publishing event. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of not. Okay, this study became homage. So yeah, can just call it like homage or parody. Try it a couple of times, you will see how much it help you. Forget how to draw hand here. Let's see, can I this? And because here is size pretty small, I cannot draw much details for this background. Just some raw. Oh, there's like flowers. Yeah, like before I was like, when I was like 16 to 23-year-old, I never, okay, like maybe I drink coffee sometimes, but very rare, because I even don't like taste. I don't understand how people can drink it. And I would just listen heavy metal, so it's make me super kind of exciting to, you know, when feel like, you know, low energy. So there's like window I do instead of wall, and there's window behind some cyberpunk buildings. All coincidence is accidental. It's actually how I see Masamune Shiro. Maybe you have your own kind of perception. I have this kind of like every time I read, I imagine myself in a story. Okay, heart and roses. Here's many gags in this, many Easter eggs in this comic book actually. Так. But I think they will be visible, they will more clear when I draw rest 2 pages. I need to draw all this spread. So, and you can do same thing not only with a comic book, do with any other like art form. Just like I say, you choosing what is your desirable result, you find work which represent this result, because it must be some perfect example for you, right? So, and then you make this kind of breakdown, you know, and practice it, try to do it, and you can make like complete recreation, or on a certain steps you alter it. Purpose here is just like practicing, make like most close to desirable result experience. So in this way you like have much more it's kind of engraven in your brain deeper. By the way, what time is in your place? Like today I start, is too late for you or it's perfect time? What time is better? Like before, more early, or like today is better time for you? So here's some flowers. So you see, what again explain what is happening here, what I'm doing and why is really helpful. So because if I will totally think about my own idea, I might struggle with so many things. Like at the beginning, right? I have problem with composition, I have problem with perspective, I have problem with this like framings, like choose which cinematic frame is better for like particular frame. And then I can just say like, okay, I took which already looks great, and I just want to practice and experience how it feels to make it myself, like it is this, like if it was my own vision. And this give you actually a lot. It really give you like a lot of important experience. And then on a certain steps you can actually like you can do your own creative work with like make your own props. You can change like for its your own characters, so it's kind of became your own work. It's just like you, of course you know you have like you just like did small part here, but it's give you this opportunity to practice like line art, practice getting this experience of like how to get to this kind of work. So and I can see like, oh, maybe I can work better with the line quality, so then I can do one more time. I can even like draw again same thing one more time. And I also by stealing good solutions, I can be creative for this like fun part of work, right? Which is also give me good experience for myself to experience making this like comic books with some funny stories. So anyway, for my brain is no difference. It's still a useful experience. Ah, I see. Okay. So I will see. Yeah, because for me, like before, I wake up too early too. It's like little rush. So then I can also important part here, right, is like to understand this subcategories, kind of all this process which you're dealing with. And I can change like even more this environment. Like I can, make this like ocean view here. But in a way it's still like different, very different. So then I have this separated video like about, let's say, perspective of 3D space. I already like to make a lot of video, so when you know which elements you need to improve, you can go and learn this each individual element separately. So you like go and look how to use perspective grids and stuff to draw different environments, interior, exteriors, whatever. Then yeah, you better buy this like framed ink for composition. It's like really great one. But also if you will actually copy your favorite artist's compositions, it's also a way for you how to improve your composition. Like I say, it's like one of the most direct way to fast grasp this idea of good composition. You learn directly from your masters. Then I will do video about cinematic composition. I already prepared a video to tell about this, like what kind of this shot type you can use in a comic book. Then it will be in a future video about character, but I already have like a bunch of videos about vehicles, right? So it's like vehicles, motorcycles, all this stuff in 3D, which also might be it's very useful for comic books, especially if you want to draw stuff like Masamune Shiro. He very good with vehicles, so watch some of my videos about how to draw good vehicles in 3D. Very cool vehicles. Cool cars. Yeah. So I show you kind of doing line art stuff. So let me show you like how to color in it. And here interesting. He kind of like actually Masamune Shiro, very simple coloring, and I'm not sure, it's like maybe it's acrylic ink, but you can do same quality with watercolor. And there is different pages with him, let's say like, yeah, like this, where is an explosion, right? And let's see, okay, here we have the like skin and shadow on the skin. So basic thing here, what can say in a like a major thing in what in the color in comic books is kind of like gradient maps when you work with Photoshop or in Procreate. So you know, it's like when you have shading, like we have this value like light, middle and dark, like light, gray and dark values, right? You can apply to these values, you can apply color gradient, and this color gradient consists from limited amount of colors. So this will this kind of gradient is called gradient map in art applications. So, but same way you're doing it with traditional media. So when I know value, I can choose which colors I can use for this value. And actually, like Masamune Shiro, he often use these three colors, like yellow, brown, like kind of little orange, and blue. It's like when it's have like a reflection. Let's see, maybe I can find here this. Even like so often, much more simpler. Kind of here you can see it's like a bluish, like in the shadow. So point here is like you need to know how many colors there involved. So kind of like most common colors here is this, like these gradients. Then for explosion, let's see what kind of colors he use. It's yellow, orange, and it can be like sometimes red. At least also have this red for sound effects. Here we see yellow orange. So you see what I mean? We have gradient, like light is yellow, for grays it's orange, and there's like when it's on the edge it's kind of reddish colors. For greens it's like yellow and green, then blue green, and sometimes even blue within green. So we have gradients, and we also have this approach when you first just make very light colors. So let me show you. Like one of very important thing to keep in mind for beginners, I was talk in my tutorial also about this. It's learn to make like very subtle values. So make sure you can do very light it's called. So it's like very little paint, and mostly it's water. You see? So then, so while it's still wet, I put second color. So when you make it gradient, it just looks more kind of more shiny. I don't know. Start to look like Photoshop. Or it's kind of effect like you have when you work with Copic markers. What's this? Earthquake. So make sure don't make like too strong colors. You need to practice, make like very light colors. Because this kind of like number one problem everybody have is their colors all too saturated, oversaturated colors. see like this. It's too strong. Kind of like a very, very small, subtle. Well, like almost invisible gradients. But like I say, you need to. Now at least you are aware it's a gradient. So it's kind of whole feature of this coloring in comic books. It's to making these gradients. Colors itself, they're kind of very simple. Nothing like hard here. It's just like orange. This. So, and yeah, after when you start to make your own story, you will realize, oh, there's actually couple more steps to making color. You need to plan like overall color composition. It's like where and which color will be placed. So here I take already all, like Masamune, he already make all this like color arrangement, right? So I don't need to think like what color sofa here and stuff like that, right? He already managed all this stuff. So for me it's just technical part to put these colors on the paper, on the final work kind of. But it is still real element of your work, because it's also experience which you need, because you can practice you will be better with color vision and like understanding how to make this color composition in your work after you have some experience like this. It's just generally improve your coloring, this kind of practice. So if you're like looking for some like secret technique, it is this thing. Like I don't hear anyone talking about it. And this is how you can compensate this kind of situation when you apprentice without master, right? Yeah, like maybe you wish to go and learn from master in his studio. Just happen you don't have any manga artist in your area, right? Any professional manga artist. So then you see, like I tell you about this gradient map or color gradient, and then I will tell you about this another main principle. It's warm and cool, and this is something you will never know if nobody tell you, or if you don't read in a book. No, I mean, or you spend plenty of time to figure it out. So here I tell you. So I mean, it's not self-evident here in the reference. You need to know it, and it helps a lot. So basically what I'm doing, I can look for everything in a reference, and in this particular comic book, and in my mind I break down everything into gradients with the warm and cool colors. So like you see here, what all in excluding explosion, all gradients, they have transition between warm and to cool. You see yellow, blue, yellow go to blue, this kind of pink can go into purple. So it helps a lot. So here, like when I look grass, it's just like two colors and gradual change between warm color to cool color. So I just take blue, it's blue here, it's like already little mix with green. So, and I have, you see this kind of cool green. Yeah, hello German. Yeah, like I say, we need to use imagination. We need to learn how to find kind of way to improve our learning process, like self-organizing. It's another kind of skill which is very important for us as creatives. It's not only about learning some cool theory and that's it. No, you need to, it's a lot of about discipline, or like just like how you organize your working process. It also defines like how effective you are, what kind of quality you can do of work. So, and here is kind of like where we need to use our imagination, right? You kind of you're looking how to explain yourself, what is your problems, and you look for kind of way how to explain. Okay, how to say, it's like there is a saying, you can look for answer to solution, but often solution it's already within question. So it's like question, it's 50% of solution, and often you can find better solution if you change question, if you find better way to define what is a problem, what actually you want, right? That's why I say, like, when you study art, you start from defining what actually you're studying, and more precise you with your definition, more kind of refined kind of your vision of your subject, kind of your on which you work, like kind of problem you need to solve, then closer you to find an answer. Because when everything uncertain and vague, it's just so hard to find answer, because you not even know what you dealing with, right? So here open car. So for example, like when I color in my comic books, I always have this funny kind of problem, like I don't know what colors choose for building. And here, okay, I can directly steal this, what color Masamune used in his buildings. So it's like light area. It's like you see very, very subtle yellowish here, yellowish, maybe even little purple here. Very subtle, very transparent. And then he has this like purplish shadow. So you notice how important to be able to make like very light. And I mean, it's not hard. You just need to know about it. You need to know, like, a lot of your problems is like you just make lights too dark and oversaturated. They should be like, it's called, what I have here, plus in my tutorial, it's like called high key tints. These high key tints. So it should be high key tints. And you need to spend some time practice it. Just make this like super light, like almost invisible colors. It's really essential. So you practice it to make yourself do it naturally. Because at beginning, I'm almost sure you have problem with this. It's like every beginners have problem with being subtle. Everybody to kind of like somewhere in the middle, and everything looks dull because you have trouble with making like strong accents, and at the same time you have problem with making something like very subtle and nuanced. So you need to practice yourself, train yourself, do very subtle, very very nuanced, like almost invisible colors. It's like your brain like kind of screaming, so like, where is color? I don't see colors, like almost no color here. Yeah, this idea about reformulate your question is very essential in for everything, but it's also very kind of popular concept in engineering. So they kind of like when you have like engineering problem, kind of, right? You're looking for answer, and then they have this approach, and you need to break your problem into elements. You need to break it down, and you see inside, you look inside, what is elements within your problem, what it consists from, and then you notice, oh, maybe you can change some elements, so you can change configuration of your problem. Maybe you can find like you need solution for, you can like It's like you need totally different idea of problem, you know. It's like you have wrong idea of problem, like is not actually what you need. So this is kind of very interesting. It's like we was conversation here about like what should I do if I feel sleepy when I'm learning, and I can give direct answer to it. I will like say like, oh, you need to do something, blah blah, or I can say, actually, like, first of all, you need to understand this is not a problem. Problem is like how you organize yourself, because like let's say there is like work for your brain, like when you sit and think about something, and there is a physical work when you just kind of like need to like work with your hands. So maybe like you need to clean your house, or you need to like send the mail, you need to go to walk to mail, something like this. So you might have some chores or just some tasks that require your physical activity. So when you tired from thinking, make a break by changing from like brain work to physical work. Some kind of this. So here you see like we have light warm colors like yellowish and pinkish, kind of pink yellow colors, and I have like much more bluish shadow, so it's warm and cool. And you can see how many water and little color I have. So just make sure you notice it. So also look like, oh, what kind of colors he used for a road. He used like make like totally yellow road. It's interesting. Okay, let's see. So like like 10 years ago for me it was like how Masamune coloring his pages, it was like best. And now after doing some studies and couple years of learning color theory, I find like, wow, it's actually not so difficult, like compared to Guarnido. It's like super simple coloring. So like you, for example, you like independent artist, like who want to do like all process, you can color like this pretty fast, and it's like it feels like a recreation activity. It doesn't feel like you like need to use a lot of brain for it. It will require some plenty of thinking when you need to figure out composition, like what kind of color palette will be on this page, right? I will talk it on the other tutorial. Так. So there will be at least one more tutorial about how to color like Masamune Shiro. I will maybe use one more spread, and will be a tutorial about how to color like Gimenez, and how to color like Gornida. I think will be a couple tutorials about Gornida, because he have like, I think like best coloring. He's kind of like crazy, like he making colors like in Disney cartoons. It just looks perfect. So here in the sofa we have like pink, blue gradient. Kind of, you see, successful YouTuber on a sofa, like $1 million from YouTube. I have too many filters now. Wait a second. Yeah. Where's the filters? Here. Filters. Okay, yeah, for watercolor. Okay, I think this is more close. Yeah. It's kind of hard to capture watercolor, but I think this seems more close to it. So you see again, like you have this light, which like very low saturated tints. Well, this is too strong. Too strong. So still, like while it's wet, it's having this like a very soft transition between colors, because like you see it's like diluted. That's why like first you put light color and then you put this like shadow, and it start to make it like very soft gradient on the edges. So first color was pretty yellow, then it's like little more cool, like little more cool, right? And now I can use like totally blue, or like maybe I add more blue to this, so it will be darker. You see? So we have it here. And see? Here. So again, it's like from yellow to darker. So we have like this like darker green. So like even more blue, like darker blue here. So you see, kind of just like when you have this clear idea of what kind of colors involve here, it's not so hard. You just kind of, if you see you need more value, okay, just make some darker blue. So it's not so difficult to find this color harmonies. You just look, basically you look for opposition of warm and cool. Green. Sky here. Now make darker sky. Like this. And here make shadow darker. There's some kind of pattern on the sofa. Something weird. Yeah. Hard to catch. These kind of colors always look weird. Here's iPad. her skin darker. Too light. Here's skin. Good. Okay, anyway, it's something like this. It's kind of weird. But again, like I say, it's not about like immediately perfect work, but like from this experience I can think about my mistakes and like something I want to improve. Something I can improve to get to kind of closer to perfect result. Okay, let's finish this here. It's kind of little boring colors here, so a little stuck with them. Let's see in the second video where I will finish this, make colors for these 2 pages. Так, it will be more fun colors. So tell me in the comments if there was something useful in this video today. See you. Maybe with some darker blue here. So, see you next tutorial, next live stream.
Madness. This is
Jane Bond